specific markers that aren't just cholesterol as well. I'm going to talk about something called homocysteine, being one of those markers. Have you heard of homocysteine before? No? I'm going to talk about the thymus gland just a little bit, and the thymus gland is a gland that's really important for our immune system, but it's quite high up, so it's between our lungs, and it's quite high up in our chest, but in that area. And then obviously what nutrition can do to heal your heart. So it's not so much what can nutrition do to lower your cholesterol, but what I really want to put the focus on is about inflammation. So all of our chronic disease processes, heart disease, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, rheumatoid arthritis, I'm forgetting one, but it'll come back to me. All of them have one thing in common, they all have inflammation at their core. So this is really about lowering inflammation in the body. Is that okay? Okay, so cholesterol myths. First myth, cholesterol is bad. True or false?
Well, they say that there is a bad cholesterol and good cholesterol.
Yeah. So I'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah. So true, false, false.
True.
Cholesterol is bad, true. Okay.
I would say in that you need cholesterol, but there is bad cholesterol.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So even 20, 30 years ago, we were brought up, or I was brought up, that cholesterol is really, really bad for us. It's not intrinsically bad. The body makes cholesterol, and our body makes about 3/4 of the cholesterol contained within our body. So if it was that bad for us, why on earth would our bodies make it if it was that detrimental to our health? Now, our liver makes the cholesterol as well. So when somebody comes to me with a cholesterol problem, I'm not trying to give them foods to lower their cholesterol. I'm trying to work on their liver so that their liver can do the job that it's meant to do and make the right amounts of cholesterol when needed. And I'm also trying to work on their bowel and their gut, because we get rid of a lot of cholesterol through our bowel as well. So if we can't get rid of it, constipation is the problem, then we need to look at, it might be recirculating in the body, and that's increasing the cholesterol levels as well. So it's not inherently bad. Food is also, when you're talking about cholesterol, it can be, not always, but it can be very difficult to lower your cholesterol, specifically through food. The reason for that is, as food arrives, the reason for that is the more cholesterol we take in through our foods, the less our body will make, and the less amount of cholesterol that we take in through our foods, the more our bodies will make. So our bodies are really sophisticated beings. They will figure out what we need when we need it. Yeah. So the benefits of cholesterol. So we regulate our protein pathway, so it's good in building things up. Cholesterol is at the core of our sex hormone synthesis. So it is at the foundation of how we make our sex hormones, right? So, which isn't just important when we're talking about reproduction, but it's really important when we're talking about just having a healthy menstrual cycle. We need the right amounts of hormones when we need them. We talked about that already, but we need cholesterol in order to do that. If we don't have enough cholesterol, if we're not making enough, if we're not taking enough through food, then we're not going to be able to have healthy sex hormones. And it's also at the core of our stress hormones as well. So a lot of people, when I say stress hormones, they automatically think, well, stress is bad, I don't want those, so I might want to lower my cholesterol that way. But we need a certain amount of stress hormones, right? So cortisol is our ample stress hormone. You need some of it just to be able to wake up in the morning. If you didn't have enough of it, you wouldn't be able to wake up. And that's when you see things like ME and chronic fatigue syndrome as well. Yeah.
So that's when you've not got enough.
Yeah. So your adrenal glands go through certain stages, remember? So that's at the end. ME and chronic fatigue is kind of right at the end, where the body literally gives up secreting cortisol because you're not listening to it. So it goes, well, I can't be bothered. There's not enough, and I'm just not going to secrete it as much anymore. Amazing.
Should we eat while you talk?
Yeah. I need 2 minutes to eat, if that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Myth number 2, and I'm sure you all know the answer to this question, but margarine is better than butter.
No.
farms? So my family had a lot of margarine in the fridge. So my mother grew up on a farm. She grew up on an orchard actually, of apples and pears and so forth, but in the country, and there was so much butter going around. But in our fridge growing up, it was all margarine, all plain. Similar? Did you eat a lot of margarine growing up, or?
A lot of what, sorry?
Margarine instead of butter.
Because again, we were educated that margarine was better for us, right? 20, 30 years ago. That's
My grandma was old school from a farm in the south, and she was like, no, it's butter.
but
In Manitoba, actually, we use more corn from oil to cook.
corn oil.
Yeah.
Corn.
And
Okay.
as well,
Thank you.
kirasol, the flour.
Sunflower.
Yeah, is what we use.
And we
Where are you
should
from
bread.
originally?
Not bread.
No,
What's butter?
Mexico. Mexico. But of course, in our country, we do a lot of products related with corn at the time.
Okay.
In Ukraine also we are no didn't have olive oil, only
Cornflour.
sunflower.
So do you mean as in a spread you would have
No, we didn't use only for everything, only the sunflower.
just
oil.
oil and that?
And here they say that it's horrible. Everybody,
But on bread, you would put butter or margarine?
no, butter.
Real butter, not margarine.
Right.
As well, you have to
So
consider
gray,
that,
gray.
in a country like mine, it's not that you have the breakfast that you have here.
No.
You have this bread. I mean, we do it because now everything is really global and everybody knows the most of the products. But you go
We have
to
it
school
on
with a
the-
sandwich that for us is like, first of all, it's not a sandwich, the square thing that usually we eat at the time. It was like a kind of a bread that we do, and we put beans in it and other kind of things that for us is very common to eat.
Yeah.
As well, when I arrived here, and people they used to ask me, because I was working in the cafeteria in the morning, like the bread with the tomato and everything like that. For me, was very weird just to listen to it. I was like, well, why do it at this time of the day, like at 8 in the morning? So it is true that you have to consider that in that sense. Different cultures, they eat different things in the morning. So for you, if you would eliminate water, it would be like, oh, we're gonna have